It's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy!
Light him up, Colin!
Entering week 2, it's finally back to Thursday, which means we got more football tonight. Looking forward to that. We got Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime taking the game this time around. Looking forward to that as we got a little Commanders and Packers action up in Lambeau. So a little warmer in northern Wisconsin. We're not necessarily in the snow period yet, but 8:15 Prime Video. You will be able to hear some good action tonight. Packers, Commanders, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, and Christian Cat. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. It's a gloomy afternoon here in South Florida. We're at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. We got you for the next 2 hours. We'll hear from Mike Tannenbaum, the ESPN NFL insider. He'll be joining us in just about an hour. We'll do a little 5-5. We'll power rank our teams post week 1 into week 2 in the NFL. Looking forward to that. And we got to make a couple big-time predictions and a big-time picks with our Cover 5 picks, which we have locked and loaded. That's going to be coming up towards the end of the show today. 5 picks on the Cover 5 app where you can compete against myself and Mike and Russo and Rizzo. And then you can also compete against Christian Cat and Theo Dorsey on Theoretically Speaking. Cover 5, you download it in the App Store. You search up the league, ESPN West Palm. Use the code MVP2025 as the code to get in. And you just make 5 picks against the spread in the NFL weekly. And each point or each point for or against, it's like a lightning bet. So if you choose -3, the team ends up winning by 10, you get 7 points. If the spread is +2 and you end up losing the game by 15, then all of a sudden, you lose by 13 points, and then you're down 13 points. That's how it goes. It's lightning bets. So you can have a big week or you can have a really bad week. And if you win, if you're above us in the leaderboards, you could get entered in to a chance to win $25 at Duffy's. It's free. There's no money included. Just download that app today. Join that league at ESPN West Palm and get your chance to win some Duffy's gift cards. Tonight, Thursday Night Football, we got a good one. Yep. Thursday Night Football, they usually bury, it's no longer Titans-Jags or, something godforsaken. This is a great game. This is amongst 2 elite NFC contenders, at least in the early part. You got the Commanders, who you're still trying to get a feel for. I think after that Giant game, the Commanders played well, of course, but the Giants couldn't do anything offensively, so you haven't necessarily seen them tested. And the Packers are going to test them because the Packers are probably one of the biggest winners of week 1 and what they did in dismantling Detroit. So going into this game, we saw the Eagles play just about a week ago. That team is obviously 1A. I think this game will determine who's 1B.
Right.
Who is going to be 2A. Who's going to be that prince to the king in the NFC. I think that's what you're going to see today.
I think one thing we could agree on, these are 2 top 5 teams within the NFC. And we've been down on the Commanders as a show. I think if the Commanders come out and play well and get a victory on the road in one of the more hostile environments in Green Bay, they're going to deserve our respect. Now, I think Green Bay still carries that momentum that they had from the Parsons trade, from the great week 1 into this game. This is one of the better games, better atmospheres, rather, for a primetime game at Lambeau Field. It's always hard to go into that stadium and come out with a win, regardless of what the team looks like. And if we're going to sit here and say that they are one of the best 2 teams in the NFC, you got to give advantage to Green Bay. And especially because Green Bay didn't get in the way, I think, of themselves last week at all. They played great defense. Jordan Love didn't even throw for 200 yards.
He'll win the game.
For 2 touchdowns and didn't make any mistakes and won the game. And Jacobs ran the ball well. I mentioned earlier this week, they just play great complementary football. That's one thing when we'll talk to Mike Tannenbaum later on in the show, but Mike T, before the season, I was getting on him a bit. I'm like, Mike, everyone's given the Packers the Super Bowl trophy already. Can we play? And he's like, Mike, this team's really good. And I think we did, to Tannenbaum's credit, we did see that this past weekend, and I think it's going to continue tonight, Kyle.
You got to see, now you got another opportunity to show that. So you said complimentary football. The good thing about Green Bay is I'm sure a talking point with Matt LaFleur, the head coach of Green Bay, and what he probably said to Jordan Love is we need you to cut down on the turnovers. We need you to not necessarily be this gunslinger that Rodgers was. Rodgers was the rare, I guess, out of nowhere unicorn that is the gunslinger that doesn't throw interceptions.
Right.
That's what Rodgers was. Not every quarterback is like that. Most gunslingers are not like that. Josh Allen has sort of figured out a way to be that as well. But Jordan Love sort of was lauded as this guy who, has the deep ball. He's the young arm. He's lively. He takes chances. He's worth it. I'm not sure about the classic gunslinger, but he turned the ball over. He had a lot of interceptions last year, about 15. And you don't necessarily want to replicate that. If there's a thing that Jordan Love needed to improve upon, it was, all right, cut down on the turnovers, and we need to see you be able to will us down the field if need be. Packers obviously haven't needed that yet, so you're going to wait and see. You'll have an opportunity eventually to do so. But I think the fact that he did play complimentary in that week 1 is a good testament to the game plan. Hey, the game plan is that rushing attack is going to be the focal point of our offense. We have 4 or 5 different receivers that can be dangerous at any given time, are not necessarily consistently great. You got 2 pretty good tight ends. You get a good offensive line, and you got a defense that at least can surprise some people, at least in the front 7. So the Packers are thinking, all right, until we need you to be a superhero, don't be.
Right.
And I think Jordan Love is maybe going to take a step in the right direction of, I don't need to save the team every 5 seconds. There's quarterbacks that deal with that. We've been talking about that all week. Maybe the next step for Jordan is to understand that I don't need to be that until they need me to.
And I think it's good coaching by LaFleur, too. There was a lot of talk with Matt LaFleur when Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay that is LaFleur even doing anything? Is this all Aaron Rodgers? Is Matt LaFleur's success just stapled on to a Hall of Fame quarterback? I think LaFleur has proved post-Rodgers that he's a threat, that he's one of the better coaches.
He won 3 games with Malik Willis last year.
Right. I think so. To compliment what you said there, Kyle, with the game plan for Love, I think it has a lot to do with LaFleur and how good of a coach he is, and I think it speaks volumes to how good that Mike Shanahan coaching tree. McVay has come from it. Kyle, obviously, Shanahan has come from it. Matt LaFleur was a part of that as well. And leave it to the Packers to just completely hit home runs on head coaches. And listen, I'm still not admitting defeat on Love. I'm starting to look like I'm
the jury is still out. He has been erratic his whole career.
It has been, but overreaction week 1, certainly Love looked the part, and it looked like he was going to play the good soldier role of what Kyle said. Don't turn the ball over. Don't try to be Superman.
Get us to the end of the game.
And it's so funny. Complete opposite what the Bears are doing, by the way, and what
Go be a hero, Caleb.
Miserable advice. Why is that the advice? Anyway,
Bo Nix, go be a hero.
Yeah, I don't understand that advice sometimes, but give credit to LaFleur. I think he deserves it. And I do think it continues for the Packers tonight. Now, Kyle, if we could shift the gears over to Washington, what are your 2 cents on Jaden Daniels? Because it's a really big game for him, I feel like. I know it's week 2. Is there such thing as a really big game in week 2? I guess we could argue that as well. But I think it's a big game in the sense of, okay, you were a rookie last year. You went to the NFC Championship. Here's what people are calling one of the best teams in the NFC in a tough road environment.
Yeah, the thing about Washington is they obviously should be afraid of the prospect of Micah Parsons and him being on the field at any given time. And that front 7 is going to be dangerous. Obviously, it gave Jared Goff a bunch of fits. But that secondary is where most of the questions lie with Green Bay. If you're Jaden Daniels, he's very good at not letting the opposing lines get to him. Mm-hmm. He was very comfortable last year, especially against great defensive lines. Now, he didn't do anything in the NFC title game to the beginning part against the Philadelphia Eagles, but he was very good at nullifying a pass rush. I think now with Jaden Daniels, I don't know. You couldn't get a real feel playing the Giants when the Giants' offense was honestly uncompetitive. But if you see some early offense from either side tonight, I think you're going to have to see where these coaching staffs sort of trust and how they want to operate their quarterbacks, especially from behind. I think the most interesting thing I'm curious about either of these teams is how do you play from behind? Mm-hmm. How do you play in a big drive? All of a sudden you're down 14-10 at half, but you guys get the ball. One of the bigger drives of the game. How are you going to utilize your weapons? How are you going to utilize the run game? I mean, are you going to panic at any point? I think the thing about the Washington Commanders is I think that last year they were the beneficiary of some of the best luck I've ever seen in the NFL. Some of the best, and luck is it's a skill.
Wrong.
It's a utilized skill. It's timing, one possession games. Obviously, it's the difference between good and bad, but let's call it like we see it. I mean, it started with that Hail Mary against Chicago in Week 5, and then it basically carried over every game where Washington would just find themselves in a luxurious position to be able to take advantage. I have a hard time seeing that happen again. I do. So if they're going to need to will their way to a couple victories instead of, wait for the pot of gold to appear under their legs, I think this is a good opportunity for Washington to really at least shut somebody like me up, because I think that team is old. I think that team got older. And now this is a great opportunity to take on one of the youngest teams in the NFL who everybody is super, super high on. I think most of the people, most of the money is probably on Green Bay here. It's Lambeau on a Thursday night, coming off probably the most lopsided big game win of Week 1. Washington has the jury's out for me.
It is.
I didn't see the Giant game live, so the jury's out. But Jaden Daniels, you want to avoid that sophomore slump. You want to kind of shut everybody up. This is the perfect opportunity to do so.
Well, let me say this. From someone who watched a lot of that Commander and Giant game, Kyle, they had opportunities to completely bury the Giants at moments, but they kept them lingering around. They scored 3 touchdowns, but the Giants were doing absolutely nothing offensively, continually punting the ball and giving the ball to Jaden Daniels. But 3 touchdowns in the whole game after having, more of the ball and the time of possession be in their corner. I probably could have seen more. Now, here are my questions for this Washington offense tonight. Jaden Daniels had 11 carries in that game against the Giants.
Yeah, they're not afraid to use him.
They're not, but with a defense like Green Bay, I think they're going to be zeroing in on him. I think they're going to be spying him tonight.
Who have a great linebacker core, too.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be spying him tonight. And a lot of people thought that Austin Eckler was going to be the number 1 back in that backfield. Daniels had the most carries, but after that was Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, who ran hard. He's averaging 8 yards a carry. So I think if Washington can establish a run early and not have Daniels be, I guess magic is the word I'm looking for, magic on some of these plays where things go wrong, I don't think that stuff's going to work tonight versus Green Bay with him scrambling around. He did throw the ball well for 233, 19 to 30, but you're going to need.
It's hard to gauge.
It is. It really is.
When you have no pressure on you, and the team that you're playing against
just has nothing offensively.
Defensively, the Giants did a halfway decent job, but offensively, when you're completely uncompetitive,
right?
It's hard to get a real feel for a true test environment for that offense. So I think questions lie, but I also had these questions about Jaden Daniels coming into the league. I thought he was, he's a frail person. I thought, you're not going to be able to run the ball like he did in the SEC and got away with it in the NFL. Lo and behold, I was wrong.
He's been able to do it.
And he's been able to do it. So, he's kind of shut me up in terms of I didn't think his body type could deal with it. He's not a Jalen Hurts build. He's not like a Cam Newton. He's not a Josh Allen. Lamar is just the most elusive player in the NFL. He doesn't necessarily have that type of athleticism, but Daniel's been able to figure it out.
Right.
So whether you want to continue to put your body on the line and take those risks, fine. Until I see it be a problem, I have a hard time critiquing it.
Yeah, and it's a really good defense tonight, and I think a lot of those weapons for Daniels as well are going to have to step up. I mean, Debo had a pretty good game, but McLaurin had 2 catches, So I think getting your stars involved early, I think Daniels feeling comfortable in the pocket, I think these are all things we're going to have to see from Washington in order to see some success from them, because we know what Green Bay is going to want to do. They're going to want to control the ball. They're going to want to get the ball in Jordan Love's hands, have him make the right play, and run the football. I think you got to do similar stuff with the Commanders, with Jaden Daniels, and with that running attack, and really get that offense back on track, who had a ton of opportunities last week and weren't able to take advantage of it at home.
Yeah, obviously, we know that Philly's number 1. Philly's the 1A, right? There should be no doubt of that. It doesn't matter if that Dallas game, Dallas had every opportunity to win it. Philly's still 1A. Until proven otherwise, the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in that conference. Number 2, if you want to say Green Bay, fair. But other than that, it's open for taking.
It is.
That was Detroit last year. Green Bay sort of dethroned them a little bit. It seems like Detroit's going to just need to regroup a little bit before they get back into the fold of things. Obviously, it's only been 1 week. They have new coordinators. You got to give them a little bit of time to get readjusted and reacclimated. So from that perspective, that 1B spot is open for the taking. Is it going to be Tampa Bay? Is it going to be Green Bay? Is it going to be Washington? I mean, Minnesota with the first-year quarterback, that Monday night game, Minnesota loses that to a whole lot of teams in the NFL. It just happened to be playing the Bears. So, and the Bears love losing a game like that. You know,
Correct.
the Bears, Jags, Browns probably would have lost that game as well.
Yep.
But other than that, I don't think any other team in the NFL would have lost that game.
And like that field goal goes in at 17 to what was it? 6 count 3? Can't remember.
So you're not putting
that field goal goes in and you go up 20-6.
You're not putting the Rams there. You're not putting Arizona there. You're not putting San Francisco with all their injuries there. You got a handful of teams that are sort of looking to establish themselves, at least in the first 4-week block of the year, as that second team in the NFC. And that's going to be Green Bay, Washington, and maybe Tampa Bay. You get those 3 teams from where we stand today, from this outlook. And Green Bay's got the best win on the resume so far, but Washington knocks off Green Bay. All of a sudden, the transitive property, got to give it to the Commanders there. This is a who is the prince game tonight on Thursday Night Football. Who is the prince? We know the king is. Let's find out who the prince is.
Could the prince be the Dallas Cowboys, who played the Eagles pretty well? CeeDee Lamb makes a catch.
It's true. It's true.
And then they got obviously they got the Giants this week at home in Jerry World for week 1. Obviously, 1 week, to your credit, Kyle. 1 week.
Now, the Cowboys play the Packers, I believe, week 4.
Oh, God.
So we'll see what happens. And that's Sunday Night Football. So we'll see what happens there. So we have at least have an early test.
Micah
between
Parsons
those two
returning
teams.
to Dallas.
Yeah, if he's healthy. Yeah, oh, my God. If they're not just deploying him as like sort of a spy and sort of just to kind of take up attention.
What's going on there? What's going on with that?
Hey, they're trying to get him healthy, which is fine. And from every Packer fan I talked to, he was on the field and everything changed. Everything changed. Everybody else got single people blocking them.
How about that, though? You are right on that. But, like, dude, how bad were the Lions? I'm not giving up on them. I'm not giving up on Detroit. But that was a bad output.
And now
that was miserable.
But you got to give them a little bit of time because they lost 9 coaches. I mean, Ben Johnson brought a couple guys. Aaron Glenn definitely brought a couple guys with him. It's not an easy spot. And they lost their assistant general manager. They lost 2 key offensive linemen, one to retirement. You got a lot to make up. And on top of a team who sort of finished last year on such a bad note, a little bit of soul searching for them. That Bear game's very interesting for them. The Lions got the Bears.
Ben Johnson.
So that's a very interesting game to see who lies where in the NFC. I think Detroit's got too much talent to not regroup. Too much talent.
With a lot of what Detroit likes to do. I mean, Kyle, they were down 10-0 before you could blink, which means you're probably not running the ball as much as you would like to. I think with what we saw from Ben Johnson, at least in that offense for the last couple of years, when they run the ball and they have success running the ball, that's when Goff plays well. Really, that's for any quarterback, Colin. But I think it's really important for a team that has Gibbs, Montgomery, and a lot of good backs in that backfield to establish a run, keep it a threat throughout the game so you don't look so one-dimensional. I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't have a lot of catches in the game. It was really Sam Laporta leading the way, if I remember correctly, in that one. So I think the Lions need to get back to what they do well, and maybe it is a little home cooking against the Bears.
Yeah, the Lions, big question mark with that Bear game right there. And as for tonight, those are teams that didn't have good starts. 2 teams that did have good starts, the Washington Commanders and the Green Bay Packers. We'll see what happens on Thursday Night Football, 8:15, Amazon Prime. 888-760-3776. Will we see the Packers crowned as sort of that 1B in the NFC tonight, or will we see the Washington Commanders? Are you still on the Washington Commanders to be as good as they were last year, be as dangerous as they were last year? Mike and I not on that team, at least to this point, but obviously, we play the games for a reason. Let's find out who's going to be that 1B of that NFC. 888-760-3776. We got to power rank some teams. Speaking of that 1A, 1B, we'll do a little power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage on the flip side. Stay tuned for that. It's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today. City.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
This is ESPN 1063, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 1063, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer and handcrafted cocktails, all in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape and your home for sports too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane Grill and Wings. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Let's go to the Rapids. Go splash, go wild, go together. With over 40 water slides and family-friendly fun, there's something for everyone. Save big on tickets and season passes this summer when you buy online. Upgrade and get unlimited visits, free parking, and more with a season pass. Experience the all-new Mega Mayhem, Florida's first dueling water coaster. Visit RapidsWaterPark.com to buy now. Rapids, South Florida's largest water park. Let's go!
It's Tina. You know how important it is to keep your car running. And when it comes to my car, I only trust St. Lucie Battery and Tire. They've been taking care of South Florida for over 50 years, and they're still family-owned. Need new tires? They've got all the big brands. Battery issues? They've got it. Cars, trucks, boats, RVs, and even commercial fleets. And if you ever get stuck, their 24/7 roadside emergency service is a total lifesaver. Go see my friends at St. Lucie Battery and Tire, slbt.com. They'll keep you going.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
Well, if you want $150 basically free, you go download the Hard Rock Bet app on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and just bet $5. That's right. $5 grants you $150 in bonus bets on the Hard Rock Bet app now. Right. That's a no-brainer. Go bet $5, get that $150 back. Bet Thursday Night Football. Bet some Friday stuff. Bet the college slate on Saturday. Bet the MLB playoffs, which is coming up in just about 2.5 weeks. Bet the Sunday slate. You got it all in one spot. That's Hard Rock Bet. Of course, the Discover page, you can check it out there and see what other users are putting together in terms of utilizing profit boosts, promo boosts. Bet on boxing, bet on table tennis, bet on rugby. They got it all in one spot, and you can even watch some of it on the actual app. Table tennis is available to stream on the app. So you basically got everything in one spot. That's player props, that's game by game, that's live bets, that's futures. Hard Rock Bet, it's the place for you. It's the place for the new and the old. The new sportsbook player and the old sportsbook player both love it. I do as well. Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida. The wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 1063. Well, let's dramatically overreact. We got to do it. We're at the Thursday point. We got to do it before we get to week 2. It's time for us to put a little power rankings together. Let's do our week 1 NFL power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
Who's moving up?
Eagles still best team in the NFL. You know that they're not distracted.
Who's moving down?
I'm down on the Packers. This is going to be a major problem. We'll see.
It's time for the Russo and Rizzo NFL Power Rankings, presented by
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Folks, you got to call my guy Spiro and Good Greek if you're moving in relatively soon, because Good Greek for years has been your total relocation solution, from packing and storage to local and long-distance moves. Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage have you covered from start to finish, trusted by families, businesses, and even sports teams like the Hurricanes and Heat for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free. The world's only total relocation company. And be on the lookout on our social media page coming up next week, because I am going to be going through mover school. That is one of the things I'm going to be doing with Spiro and his team. And that's what they do with all of their workers. They go through moving school. They're making sure they're doing things the Good Greek way. Folks, Good Greek is that company you can trust with your family and with whoever may be around when you are moving. They are trusted for years here in South Florida. Be on the lookout for me doing a little safety with Good Greek coming up next week.
Safety?
Yeah, a little safety school, Kyle.
Safety school?
Yeah.
All right. Are you not safe?
I'm safe. I think you can trust me.
You could get more safe now.
Yeah, I mean, I need to know how to move people the right way.
All right, fair enough. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. All right, how are we going to do this? We're going to go 10 through 1. Number 10.
Number 10.
All right, there's a couple options we could go here. Think about the 1-0 teams. I mean, you're thinking about teams like Minnesota. You're thinking about teams like the LA Rams. I like the 1-0. I'm going to value resume here. I'm going to set my criteria. The Pittsburgh Steelers, probably somewhere in that 10 range as well. I would lean, if we're going to do one right now, I would go Steelers. You think they're higher than 10?
Are they top 10? I think that's the question. What about a team like San Francisco? I know they won ugly.
Now, let's set our criteria. How do we do that with the injuries? That team's already hobbled. We're in week 2.
Yeah. By the way, Pittsburgh Spiro's team. Let's go with that magic.
Number 10.
Let's do 10 with the Steelers. And they got a home game this week. I think if they play well
I think
at
10
home,
is a perfect spot for the Steelers.
Right.
I really do.
And Rodgers played well. I'm the one who tells you all the time that I think they're probably going to win a playoff game if Rodgers is able to, figure things out with the Steelers this year. Let's go with Spiro's Squealers at number 10.
All right, let's go to number 9.
Number 9.
All right, I think you should go LA Rams, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One of those two. What do you think?
I like Tampa Bay here. I think it's fair at this moment of the season. I'm high on Tampa Bay, but I probably realistically...
Let's be fair. You can remember the Chiefs. Think of the 0-1 teams that are probably still going to be ahead of them. The Chiefs are definitely going to still be ahead of them. Do we put Dallas up there? Probably. I don't know.
I think not quite. Dallas 0-1. I mean, this is just week 1.
It's week 1.
Dallas down the line, we could certainly
I
make
think
a case
the
for.
only 0-1 teams that probably should be on here are Kansas City and Baltimore.
Baltimore definitely. Kansas City definitely. I like Tampa Bay. I like
Tampa Bay at number 9?
Yeah, I like Tampa Bay at number 9.
All right, let's do Tampa Bay at number 9.
And then I'll take number 8.
Number 8.
So number 8, I think do we put Denver here? Or is it too low? I think we put Denver here.
I think you put Denver
offense.
here because one half of that they underachieved, but with that defense, that team is a top 10 team.
They're always going to be in it, and I'm going to keep reminding us it's week 1, but to barely squeak by and listen.
And remember, we're establishing the top 10 here, so we don't have to. We could play this however we want.
Dude, Sean Payton had a bad week too. I mean, he was going for it when he should have taken 3.
They're too aggressive. They don't understand that, hey, we got a great defense. Let's let the defense be great and let the offense be complimentary. I'm okay with this. So what is it, number 8, Denver Broncos?
Yeah, so we're on 7.
Number 7.
So I think, Kyle, next up, you go a couple ways.
Kansas City?
You could go KC. Dare I say...
Because remember, the Chargers are going to be ahead of them. Let's think about who's going to be ahead of them. The Chargers are going to be ahead of them. The Commanders, the Packers are going to be ahead of them. The Lions are going to be ahead of them. And the Eagles are going to be ahead of them. That's 6 right there.
I guess so. It's so tough at this point in the season. I think you can, and I know, listen to me making another case for San Francisco, but I truly do think that this is probably the right pick. So
Kansas City?
Yeah, I think so.
Kansas City at number 7. Number 6?
I think...
Number 6.
So we don't want to put any 0-1 teams. What's our criteria for 0-1 teams? Just Baltimore?
Yeah.
Because you could make a case for a couple more other ones after that.
Like who?
I think even... I'm
not putting... You can't put Dallas ahead of Kansas City. That's not fair. Not
Even
from
with
what
how
we
well
know.
they played the
I
Eagles.
I agree. Not. There are odd men out. I agree. They had a tough first game, but Kansas City. We know Kansas City is Kansas City. That's where bias and brand recognition comes in. We know that Kansas City is going to be really good. And I think Baltimore. You're not discussing Baltimore because let's think about who we'd have to cut. We'd have to cut out a team because you're putting the Chargers somewhere in here. You're putting the Green Bay somewhere in here. You're putting Washington somewhere in here. You're putting Baltimore and you're putting the Philadelphia Eagles and the Bills. That's 6 right there. So we got to figure out those 6. I think Dallas is odd man out. Okay. Do you agree with that?
I tend to agree.
And out of the 1-0 teams,
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay's number 9.
I think
Tampa Bay's number 9, and then we had just Kansas City at number 7. So and Denver at number 8.
So far we have Steelers, Tampa Bay, Denver, and Kansas City.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with putting down and I know the Steelers beat the Jets versus playing the Eagles tough. If there's an out, I would say take Steelers out and put Dallas in. But because they don't have a win on the schedule yet, I think you're going to have to let other teams lose and take themselves out of the top 10. I think the no-brainer here, in my opinion, is the Chargers.
Should they be top 5, though? Let's just do it. Let's go Chargers at 6. I'm just looking at wins in general.
All right, if you want to grade the win higher than what Washington did, I'm okay with putting Washington in.
Yeah, I think in order to be top 5, excluding Baltimore,
Have a good win. Have a good win.
Have a good win.
All right, then let's put Chargers. Let's change that. Let's put the Washington Commanders at number 6.
Yeah, agreed. And then we'll move on to 5.
Number 5.
I think 5 is the Chargers here.
Okay.
I think 5 is the Chargers. It was a big win. Let's not get it twisted.
All right,
it was
so
a big win, but let's not overreact.
Let's go 10 through 5 really quick.
Steelers, Tampa Bay, Denver, Kansas City, Commanders, Chargers.
All right, our power rankings presented by Good Greek Moving and
Correct.
Storage. We got Pittsburgh rounding out of 10, and then we're at the 5 spot. We just put the Los Angeles Chargers. All right, let's move on. So now we're at number 4.
Number 4.
Now, Green Bay, Baltimore, Philly, and Buffalo.
I think.
Do you put Green Bay or Baltimore?
You penalize Baltimore for not winning. You put them at 4.
It's a road game against probably our number 1 team,
Agreed.
if not our number 2.
Agreed, but I think it's the way they lost. They gave the game away.
You hit the nail on the head there. Absolutely. You don't blow a 15-point lead and stay top 3.
I think they gave the game away.
You don't blow a 15-point lead and stay top 3. That's not fair.
Correct.
Can't do that.
That leads us to
Number 3. Green Bay. Green Bay?
I think locked in.
Green Bay locked in. Green Bay's a top 3 team, and brand recognition is going to have to do something here, and that's where it leads us to number 2.
Number 2.
Now, a couple directions you could go here. Is Philly still our number 1?
They
or
have
Buffalo going to be our number 1?
I think Philly has to be. Defending champs. They won ugly without their best player.
And
They won ugly without their best player.
No reason to believe that Philly is any worse than Buffalo.
Right.
I'm fine with putting Buffalo number 2 and Philly number 1.
Number 1.
Which is obviously Philadelphia. If we could stick on the conversation quickly about Philly, like Dallas completely decided to shut down those receivers,
right?
Which opened up running lanes for Hurts. We talk all the time about how teams win. Philadelphia really, I think, hits the nail on the head of they will do anything to win. I think Green Bay, 1 week in, adopted that.
Kansas City adopted that for years.
Well, yeah, I mean, they won a Super Bowl doing that post Tyreek Hill. But I think you got to give Philly, sadly.
Philly doesn't need to wow us. Philly does not need to wow us.
I hate the damn fan.
We know how good Philly is. They won the Super Bowl by 35 points.
Right.
They don't need to wow us in week 1 of the NFL season. They don't. That's not fair when they're basically bringing everybody back.
Yeah.
You don't need to wow us. I think that brand recognition, we're not putting the Super Bowl champ, we're not dropping the Super Bowl champ. And I understand the Cowboys played them really tough. That weather delay obviously had a factor in the game, at least offensively. Still, you're putting Philly number 1.
All right, so our top 10 presented by Good Greek Movers and Storage. Steelers, Tampa Bay, Denver, Kansas City, the Commanders, Chargers, and then Baltimore, Green Bay, Buffalo, and Philly. We decided to penalize Baltimore at 4. I've listened to this list. I think Tampa Bay should be higher. I'm such a Tampa Bay stan.
No Rams.
That would be my only. I think my only pushback would be Tampa Bay higher.
We put no Rams here. That was an ugly game, so I'm okay with that.
Yes.
No Rams here. I just want to reward the Steelers for looking different than they usually are. I understand if you'd want to put Dallas here or, Detroit or something like that. But
Right.
the Detroit lost ugly. They didn't deserve to be in the top 10. Dallas lost fairly, ugly, but, they played well. There's no doubt that they played well. You walked out of that game being higher on Dallas than you were. I don't think that's still worth a top 10.
No.
And then you got San Francisco, who won the game. Obviously, we think is a top 10 team. But if we're going to power rank the teams that are taking the field on Sunday, that San Francisco team is not a top 10 team.
After you talked me through it, I agree with Dallas. I do think, though, this time next week, we're going to be talking about it because I think they're going to...
You got to let some of these teams play out of that.
I think they're going to beat the Giants pretty handedly. Now, you don't want to, over-speculate too much. Week 1 with a hard road matchup that the Giants played, but that offense didn't look good, Kyle. But that's our top 10 presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
Yeah, the ones you have your eyes on. You have your eyes on Denver to see if they could win at Indianapolis, which, Indianapolis is going to be a solid team that's going to give them a good fight. Denver can't play the way they played last week and escape that game.
Right.
And so that's a team you have your eye on there. And obviously Tampa Bay, who played well, are going to be playing a desperate Houston Texans team on Monday Night Football who didn't play well last week. You don't want to fall down to 0-2. You got to be a really great team to get out of that hole. Houston doesn't want to be there, so that's a good opportunity for Tampa Bay to give themselves an opportunity to jump up the list. Obviously, you get the Eagles and the Chiefs. If the Chiefs fall to 0-2, they lose easy. We're still going to have a conversation about where they lie. And then obviously teams like Dallas got the Giants. You can't read too far into that. And then the biggest risers, biggest fallers here is if the Washington Commanders and or the Green Bay Packers put on a show.
Yep.
If one of them put on a show, then they have an opportunity to jump up a little bit.
And I think some other teams notable that we left off, obviously the Lions and the Lions, Texans, and San Francisco. I think some people would probably make the arguments for those teams.
Yeah,
to
Texans
be in the
had a
top
bad
10.
game, so I'm not. We can't put them there. We can't. That was a fringe top 10 team to probably to come into the season. And after what they did last Sunday, not fair.
Yep.
But they have an opportunity. Like that's a team that would probably flop spots with Tampa Bay if Tampa Bay were to lose that game.
Yep.
So I'm okay with this. I actually think we did a halfway decent job here.
Yeah. Now you want to know what I'm a little worried about is
what's that,
brother? Am I going to be like with Movers School? Dude, do you trust me backing up a Movers truck?
So you're
like,
getting,
I like
are
to
you
think
getting
of
like
myself,
a commercial driver's license? Are you getting like a CDL?
I'm going through the process that every good Greek employee goes through, and honestly, I told Spiro I want to be surprised.
Have you
so
ever?
This is me completely speculating.
Have you ever
about
driven
it.
a U-Haul?
I have. I drove a U-Haul from Cleveland all the way down to Athens, Ohio.
So you've driven a big truck before?
Correct, but backing one up is, that's what I might fail at. I think
they're probably going to start you with the something smaller.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You'd think.
I think so. And then I also
There's no
think
rear view cameras.
I also
in those
think
things?
I'm going to learn the right way to pick up a couch, if there is said right way to pick up a couch.
Yeah. Is there a wrong way?
I don't know. That's what I'm hopefully going to be learning.
Do they have backup cameras on those trucks? I feel like that's a no-brainer.
I would
right?
assume so.
It's a no-brainer, I feel like.
I would assume so. But listen, these are all things.
The only truck I've ever driven is a U-Haul, and that did not have one.
Listen, these are all things I'm going to be learning over at safety school with Good Greek.
When do you start?
So, it's going to be next week. So next Wednesday, tentatively next Wednesday.
You're going to be practicing.
We're going to be. We're going to be.
Well, they're not going to throw you into. They're not going to be like, all right.
But that's what we want,
here,
right?
Well,
That's the content we
Mike,
want.
They're not going to give you the keys and be like, all right, we'll see you on 95. They're not going to do that.
No, dude, it's all within this.
I know.
But what I'm saying is, do you think I'm going to pass?
Early, no. I think there's going to be a truck that is dented because of your services.
Stop it.
Unfortunately, it's all right.
I'm not trying to dent one of Spiro's trucks.
They definitely have a dummy truck that this is the punching bag, and I think you're going to do your part. I do.
Just that damn truck that always getting beat up on.
You're going to be in either some open area, and you're going to find something to hit. That's fine.
Right.
That's no problem.
Okay.
Maybe you'll rear end somebody's car or another truck doing another practice round. Just like go slow. And they're not going to have a rear view camera for the practice one.
No,
they want you to practice.
They want to use the mirrors. I wouldn't want it any other way. I want to be able to show them how I can use my mirrors.
Are these trucks with trailers? No, right?
Well, they got the beds to put all the equipment.
Right,
in.
but it's not a trailered truck. It's got a trailer truck is like it's not like an 18-wheeler.
That's a weird way to put it. You're saying, are these trucks going to have trailers? We're going to be towing
Brother,
things.
have you ever seen a mover truck? Your standard mover truck with
I'm
four
talking
wheels.
about
That's
a
what it is.
trailered giant like
A flatbed.
Is that what they
You
call
ever
it?
watch Shipping Wars on 8 and
Yeah, but that's like
A&E?
that's like a pickup truck.
No. I'm talking about when they need to move the wind turbines. Those
Yeah,
big.
and they call it
No, I'm not driving that.
The 18-wheelers.
No,
You're not driving
we're not
those.
driving. Colin,
They don't have those.
Colin, you've ever seen a mover's truck?
Yes, I don't know the extent. I don't know the extent of what trucks they're going to have you be driving.
It's
I'm
just your
sure they
stand-
have
hey,
it.
listen, it's
I'm
just-
sure they have a trailered truck somewhere that you could get behind the wheel of.
Mike's going through safety school.
Yes.
He's learning everything a good Greek moving and storage employee will do. So he's going to do every truck that they have.
Exactly.
Right, which might be that.
Listen, I could text Spiro now. Maybe he'll respond. I don't think they have an 18-wheeler on site.
That's like a commercial driver's license that you need to get that.
Correct.
You're not street legal.
I mean,
with
they
that.
do. So I will say that obviously they do the moving services, but they do storage, junk removal, auto transport. So maybe they do. I'm going to learn all about it when I get there on Wednesday. But I just want to, quick test. Am I going to pass? Quick outlook.
Mike is not going to be unloading a truck at Publix. Like, it's a little bit different type of driving.
I know, but you're going to need to be.
And
You don't
Christian,
pass a
there's
test in a
TVs.
parking lot.
Listen, you got to take into account. There's expensive things.
And
in
also,
the back
there
of it.
is a right way and a wrong way to move furniture.
You don't pass in a parking lot. You got to get on the road.
Dude, they're not. I don't think they're going to put me on the road, partner.
I think that's a test.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm
ready.
We're all speculating now.
You don't get
so
it.
we're gonna answer.
Exactly.
You don't get a driver's license in a parking lot.
But listen, I am I'm going to go nerdy here. I'm ready for the trials. I'm ready for the trials.
Have you ever driven a truck? You've driven a
I
U-Haul
told
once.
you
One time.
from Cleveland to Athens.
One time.
Yes, my junior year, the first year I was down there.
How'd that go?
I went really slow, and let's put it this way, boys. It usually takes 3 hours to get to Athens. It took me about 4:15 because I was scared to death to
So
drive that thing on the
you
highway.
can be one of those movers.
I was scared to death to drive on the
But
highway.
Mike,
with
remember
that thing.
when you went down to Homestead Miami Speedway, I believe that's where you were the best out of everyone as a NASCAR driver.
Correct. They told me I was a natural, but as Christian alluded to, I think they tell everybody that. So they just, they tell everybody what they want to hear.
All right.
But I was
trying to butter your horn a little bit. Yeah.
a damn good driver. And I was the only one who knew how to drive stick shift. How about that?
All right.
And if they are stick shift, Spiro, I know how to drive it.
Well, he'd teach you anyway.
Well, they don't no need to teach it. Your boy already knows.
All right. We'll see how that
Tell him
goes.
save the time. I got
the
this.
time. I got it.
All right. Let's skip a step. Let's get you on the highway.
I don't know about that.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, of course, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 1063. We're sitting inside at the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. If you've been in that car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, if you're getting your commercial driver's license and they throw you on 95 and you accidentally, hit a couple taillights, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys are the type that fight for you. They know, I know, that they got my back. They could get yours too. They got Mike's back. They got everybody's back. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you that maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine today, because that's the Anajar and Levine difference. Take that one phone call. Take back control of your life today. Don't wait. Call for it now. 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. Russo and Rizzo live at the State Play Studios. Taking a time out here on ESPN 1063.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers, We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smithball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smithball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Banyan Printing. For 47 years, the trusted partner for all your printing, mailing, and signage needs. And 2025 just brought something big to Banyan. Introducing Banyan's new press. Bigger, faster, and more competitively priced than anything you'll find anywhere in the Palm Beaches. Think variable data postcards, bulk mailings, and high-quality print on stocks up to a 24-point board. Banyan Printing. Visit banyanonline.com and discover how your business's printing materials can get bigger and better.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
I'm only human, y'all. I'm only human, y'all. I'm only human, y'all. I'm only human.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Well, you want to get in on the action tonight. Bet $5, bet it on your best bet of the night. You win it on the Hard Rock Bet app. You get $150 in bonus bets. That's right. 5 into 150 if you win that first bet on the app. That's a basically, wow, walk into $150 you can play with throughout a packed weekend of football. You got big college games, you got big MLB games, and you got big NFL games throughout the weekend. You can do it on the Hard Rock Bet app, or you can check out the Discover page, see what other users are betting on, see where the money is, see what's trending, see what big parlays, profit boosts, promo boosts. Hard Rock has them all basically constantly. And if you get that bonus bet money, hey, then maybe you could throw a little action on a little table tennis or on a little rugby, darts. Every league you could possibly think of is on the app. The Discover page has so many cool options, and the navigation is so easy for that brand new player. That's Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Download it on the Google Play app today. You got to be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions do apply. Considered by gambling, call that 1-888-ADD. Minute. Mike and I are going to make our picks a little later on for the Sunday slate. That should be a good time. And also, we're going to make a couple college picks coming up tomorrow. 888-760-3776. Number to get into the program on Russo and Rizzo with Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, and Christian Cat. That's 888-760-3776. Adam Silver had a couple interesting things to say. I would say he had a off-season press conference, if I had to argue.
Meltdown.
He had a couple things that he had to address. One of which, obviously, is the Kawhi Leonard scandal with the Aspiration Tree Company and him getting paid under the table, potentially, by the Steve Ballmer, the Clipper owner. He also had to address a bunch of other things in terms of, different streaming, ESPN now involved with inside the NBA. Adam Silver said a bunch of things. But the most interesting thing he talked about was talking about fans and the different ways you could actually watch games. And obviously, the NBA is in 100 different spots. You got NBC now, you got Amazon who has games, you got ESPN, ABC, you got the League Pass, you got local restrictions. It's impossible to find these games. There's 100 different spots. It's not the NFL, where the NFL is almost bulletproof to this type of criticism because it's so popular. The NBA is a little different. It's not available. Not everybody's going to watch it. Adam Silver had this to say when talking about fans who potentially cannot afford to stream the games live.
For free. This is very much a highlights-based sport, so, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, you name it, any service, the New York Times for that matter, to the extent that, your content is not behind a paid firewall. There's an enormous amount of content out there. YouTube, by another example, that people advertising based consume.
Saying that basically, hey, yeah, you can't make ends meet. You're having a tough time at work, trouble to, string together bills. You can't afford to watch your favorite team play. Don't worry. Go to the NBA TikTok and you got everything covered.
Yeah.
You basically don't even need to watch the
Hey,
games.
don't buy our product. You don't have to buy our product.
You don't need to listen. You don't need to watch this games live. It's a highlight sport. You could just watch the dunks on the ESPN Instagram or on the NBA Instagram.
It's no secret, and as Christian knows and Colin, I am so down on this league. And listen, at one point in my life, the NBA was my favorite league. Couldn't wait. Granted, it helped that my team was really good that I liked, but it goes back to David Stern having control of the league and being a great commissioner. With all due respect to Adam Silver, I'm sure he's a great guy. And
What is he talking about?
I've heard he's an amazing dude. Okay, let's get that out of the way.
He is a nice guy. He is a nice guy.
He's a nice guy, and it hurts me to say this, but he's not a good commissioner. He's not. He's just not a good commissioner. The sport's a mess. The players make too much money. The players have too much power in the league. I don't take it serious. I don't take it serious. And I go back to the take that I told you about 6 months ago, Colin. Instead of trying to fix baseball, I think this is a sport you're going to have to be fixing coming up here pretty soon. They're lucky ESPN put all their eggs in the basket 10 years ago. Okay. They're lucky that ESPN decided to go all in.
Give them a little credit. They got NBC back involved. But I 100% agree with you. I think Silver is a tremendously overrated commissioner. I think in terms of what he puts his you want to talk about eggs in baskets, Adam Silver thought, all right, well, less people are watching the games live. The ratings are not nearly as good. That's throughout the postseason. The All-Star break is a complete mess. We're trying to enhance productivity of the players during the season because it's an 82-game regular season. But what he did put all of his eggs in his basket, and what this basket was social media. The NBA is a global brand. There's no denying that. People know the players. People know what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander looks like. They know what Giannis Antetokounmpo looks like. They know what LeBron James looks like. They know the big-time players. The big-time players have immense brands and immense marketability. That's partially due to the players. That's partially due to the teams. It's partially due to the league. What they haven't been able to crack is trying to repackage people watching full basketball games. And Adam Silver right here is playing into the notion that you don't have to watch full basketball games because you could get a feel for the NBA without watching the games. That's essentially what he said. He said, well, there's free content if you don't want to pay for it. You could get TikTok, Instagram. You could, YouTube, all the highlights there. Giving people an alternative option instead of watching the games live.
You think Roger Goodell?
They would
it's
never
a highlight.
say that.
It's a highlight-based league.
They would never say that.
Remember our conversation with Red Zone? We disagreed with each other, but to your credit on it, you just see all the big highlights. That's what you were saying. All right, if you're Roger,
pay for it.
If you're Roger Goodell, just pay for Red Zone. No need to pay for the whole ticket. No need to watch the whole games. Just pay for Red Zone.
And they don't even care because a bunch of people do that. They do pay for the Red Zone.
But at the same time,
the idea is
cannot say that.
You have CBS, Fox, and NBC, even for the NBA. You got ESPN, you got Amazon Prime, you got NBC, all paying big-time money to get games, to stream games, to be involved in the live streaming. And what they sell to the advertisers is, hey, people are going to watch. Here's the number of people watching. We got to promote this the right way. And you get the NBA, this was everywhere, all over social media.
Right.
You got the NBA commissioner coming out and saying, hey, the sport's a highlight sport. Play into that. Go check out our TikTok. That's what he said. Instead of, no, we're trying to make it cost affordable for these type of people. You could do these bundles to get involved, to watch games live. If you can't do this, you could actually do this. There's no different option to be able to do that. The NFL does this with student pricing. They do, and the NBA has this, but you could do this with the bundles. They would dodge that question immensely if the NFL or even the MLB was met with that.
I'm going to make this real simple. Silver basically said, and I said it already, but I'm going to say it again. You don't have to pay for our product. Just watch the highlights. That's insanity. And to your point on all the streaming services that pay for it, not to mention, the big in ESPN, but the Peacocks of the world, the Amazons of the world, who really have bought into the whole live sport thing. You see college basketball games on it. You see
Apple
college
TV.
football games on it. You see Apple TV with MLB games. Adam Silver basically just told all those streaming services who are willing to offer millions/billions of dollars for this, don't watch. Don't watch. We sold it to Peacock.
The highlight sport. It's a
but
highlight
don't
sport.
worry. We sold it to Peacock, but you don't need to get Peacock and watch it on Peacock. You can just watch it on TikTok where it's free.
They've really de-emphasized the need to watch a full game.
Is this not a train wreck? Is this league just not an absolute train
You're
wreck?
de-emphasizing the need to watch a full basketball game. Sports are meant to be watched in entirety. Not everybody can watch a whole basketball game. Not everybody can watch a whole MLB game. Heck, not everybody watches the full NFL game. Fine. That's the nature of how sports are consumed. But at least people are still trying to tune into the game. Yeah. NBA games have an issue now where people don't tune in for the whole game. They don't feel like they need to watch the whole game because there's inundated with commercials, and it's a 3.5 hour broadcast.
It's a tough watch. Call for what it is. The play stinks.
And the players going to the free throw line. They have their own issues of the stuff on the court. Fine. But you can't have the commissioner coming out saying, well, you got a ton of highlights. You can watch it on our social medias. There's a bunch of ways for NBA fans to consume content. They've focused so much on globalizing the internet presence of the NBA, and they basically haven't paid much attention to getting more eyeballs on the entire product and what you're trying to sell. That is a bizarre, and maybe they're ahead of the game. Maybe, 10 years from now, I'm going to be viewed as stupid, and this is where everything's heading. Maybe I'm wrong. But
what, that the games are going to be free on social media?
Yeah, the games are just going to be highlight-based. But until then, this is a completely asinine way to view how the fan should watch sports, how you should promote the fan to watch your sport. You got to trust your fan that they should want to tune into a regular season game. If you put together these in-season tournaments, you're trying to put together the USA versus the world. You're trying to put together, avoid the double headers for the players. You're trying to make sure the season gets through smoothly. Trying to make sure you guys are healthy, playing every single game, the 65-game minimum. Trying to make sure all these things. It's not an easy gig. It's not an easy job, especially when the players have so much power. But you can't go out there and say fans have free options. If they don't want to pay, they can just watch the highlights. Fans going to take you to word. All right, perfect.
We're not going to buy your product.
They don't need legal. All right,
no
fine
thanks.
with me.
Just watch on TikTok.
Networks can't be happy about that. Can't be happy about Adam Silver phrasing.
Well, he might be onto something. He doesn't want to promote the garbage regular season product where there's 50,000 step-back jumpers, Olay defense, and dunks. I like playoff basketball because they actually try. Say what you want about baseball. They're trying out there, man. You're trying in baseball. You're trying for stats. You're trying for averages. It's Olay defense in the regular season. It's an unwatchable product. And I'll take it a step further. Stop with Christmas. Just don't even have games. No one's watching. We're all watching NFL. No need to play on Christmas.
The NFL did hijack. I mean, the NFL had a terrible Christmas last year, but they did hijack it 100%.
No need to play on Christmas. Nobody's watching it.
They did hijack it. There's no doubt about that. But Adam Silver going to the media, addressing things in the offseason, basically saying that we're looking into the Kawhi Leonard thing, number one. But number two, saying that the NBA is a highlight sport and that fans don't need to pay for the product of watching the game, whether the service being NBC, ESPN, whatever it might be. And they can just watch it on the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube. That could be true for some fans. Let them figure that out for themselves if that's how they want to do the NBA. You don't need the commissioner walking the horse to the water and saying, hey, don't buy our product. Don't need that.
Watch the highlights. We're a highlight league.
There's nothing wrong with it being a highlight-laden league. There's nothing wrong with that. But that should not be how you promote it.
Don't buy our product.
It's not how
Watch
you
it for
promote
free.
it. That's not how the head honcho. You think Roger Goodell would go out there and say, the NFL YouTube puts out these great 20-minute highlight tapes, believe me, I used it this weekend. These 20-minute highlight tapes, we actually do a good job of telling a story of the game. You could just do that. You don't need Red Zone. You don't need Sunday Ticket. Just wait till the YouTube thing comes out 10 minutes after the game. They put together a great 20-minute highlight reel. Get a feel for the whole game. You don't even need to pay for it. You think Roger Goodell would say that? You think Rob Manfred would say, just check the box score? Do you have the ESPN app? They got the box score there. You can check how many innings are pitched. You don't even have to watch the innings. You can see what Paul Skeens did without watching the Pirates game.
None of the players want to play in the regular season. They got to force them to play in the regular season. I mean, dude, the league is a joke. being completely honest. The league is a joke.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
It's a joke.
But they're in a tough spot. I agree. The NBA's got a lot of issues, and it's not an easy gig. But Adam Silver, let's just say he did not, throw a blanket on the fire of what's going on in terms of the fans' perception of the league. Because a lot of people heard that. And a lot of people are going to take his word for it that, you know what? We don't need to pay for it. We shouldn't pay for it. Networks should be annoyed with how Adam Silver handled that. He went to the media and said, hey, don't watch it. Right? You get a good TikTok account. Go check it out. Go check it out. Not trying to get butts in seats. We're trying to get people on their phones to watch the games. Inherently hurting their product and hurting their dollars. Because the dollars does not come from all from social media. It comes from the marketability of the players and then via the TV contracts. That's what pays the bills. At least today. That pays the bills. Streaming services pay the bills. Adam Silver is going to have to take a good long look on how to fix that. If you missed any of Mike and I and Christian, and you missed any of Theoretically Speaking, you missed any of the high school coverage that we have all throughout ESPN South Florida and the Treasure Coast, Palm Beach County, we got it all covered. It's all in one spot now, too. The ESPN South Florida app is live. You could go download it on the App Store, and you can check out Inter Miami, English and Spanish, full there. You can watch games, listen to games. So all of a sudden, it's all in your pocket. Yeah, of course, we have our live radio. We have it on our Instagram. We have it on our Twitter and YouTube. But you could actually listen to the entirety of everything in one spot on the app. Free to download on the App Store today. Listen to the full broadcast of ESPN 106.3. Listen to the Kaiser football games. Listen to ESPN West Palm High School game day. It's all in one spot, the ESPN South Florida app. Go download it today. We're going to take a time out here, and on the flip side, we're going to loop in an expert, somebody who's worked in front offices before. It's Mr. Mike Tannenbaum, who is going to be joining us next, and we'll ask him a couple of things, obviously, with the implications of what this Packer-Commander early test feels like for both teams. Obviously, the San Francisco 49ers have a lot of injury issues to deal with on the early part of the year. We'll just get his temperature of the San Francisco 49ers and a whole lot more. That's all that and more to come in the second hour of Russo and Rizzo, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, coming up on ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
I can't be the only one who goes outside to get my mail on a Saturday morning and it's 105 degrees outside and you sweat through your shirt almost immediately. It's Colin Russo, and Cassidy AC is here to help you defend against that brutal Florida heat. This time of year, you need to have a game plan, and here it is right now. When these storms roll in, the summer storms, shut off your AC at the breaker to avoid power surge damage. Better yet, you could call Cassidy and add the surge protection to your system because you don't want to wait till you're on the wrong end of a big storm. If your system is struggling like a bad defense on your favorite team in the fourth quarter, upgrade now and score $500 off of new installs, plus special financing options with payments starting at just $92 a month. Cassidy AC has been Palm Beach County's trusted team since 1960. With expert technicians who could fix just any system, any brand, any age, and with the Cassidy Care Club, it's like having season tickets for comfort. That's priority service, tune-ups, discounts, all in one spot. Here's the truth. Here's the fact of the matter. 90% of breakdowns on units under 10 years old could have been prevented with regular maintenance. Don't let your AC lose that big home game. Visit CassidyAC.com today. Cassidy AC, the pride of Palm Beach County, cooling homes all season long.
Does your business leave a lasting impression? Attractive, eye-catching signs help you stand out from the crowd and create a strong brand identity. Our team at Signorama West Palm are experts in helping your business get noticed and get effective signage in front of your potential customers. Our team can turn your blank windows or plain vehicles into money-making branding machines by drawing customers' attention to your business. So if you're looking to leave that lasting impression, call us 561-687-7993 or visit SignoramaWPB.com.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
You lather, rinse, moisturize, and repeat. At this point, you're practically training for the Shower Olympics. But here's the twist. It's not your shampoo's fault, it's your water. Hard water leaves a mineral residue that clogs your pores and dries out your hair. Culligan water softeners remove damaging minerals, revitalizing brittle hair and dry skin. Upgrade your shower system today for only $79 a month. Visit Culligan.com for more information or just say,
Hey, Culligan man!
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
ESPN West Palm is on the move. Brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, the most trusted moving company in Florida. You're safe with Safebound.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and if you love football, you're in the right place. ESPN 106.3 has it all. Tonight, NFL Week 2 is here. The Commanders storm into Lambeau to battle the Packers under the lights. Coverage starts at 7:30 here on ESPN 106.3.
2025 Florida football ticket packages are on sale now. Don't miss any of the 6 home games, including the home opener on August 30th versus Long Island, the SEC home opener versus Texas on October 4th, and Senior Day versus Florida State on November 29th. Visit FloridaGators.com and secure your seat for all the action only in the Swamp.
Miami Dolphins football is back at Hard Rock Stadium. The party starts the second you hit the lot and doesn't stop till the final whistle. There's nothing like experiencing Dolphins football live. Single game tickets are on sale now with options for every budget, from the 300 level to our luxury offerings. Turn Sundays into something unforgettable. Secure your seats today. Visit MiamiDolphins.com/tickets and get ready for game day.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen. Stuck in I-95 traffic behind a golf cart and a guy transporting a kayak on a moped? Same. At least you've got ESPN 106.3. Oh yeah, a lane is closed up ahead. Probably should have told you about that first. Hey, more time to listen to ESPN 106.3. Isn't that great?
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies. Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Foul into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy!
Light him up, Colin!
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3 with Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, and Christian Cat. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. It's the second hour, the 5th hour of Russo and Rizzo. The 5 o'clock hour, I should say, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. Welcoming in the ESPN NFL Insider. He's been in front offices before, the former general manager of the New York Jets, the former executive vice president of football operations for the Miami Dolphins. It is Mr. Mike Tannenbaum joining us now. Mike T, how we doing today? What's going on?
Yeah, congratulations, Colin. Amazing to do the Ironman in Madison, Wisconsin in 14 hours. That's what a remarkable achievement.
Well, I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I had to miss the entire NFL slate on Sunday because I thought, stupidly, that I'd be able to finish before the second half of Sunday Night Football. That ended up not happening. But nonetheless, I'm done. I'm retired, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, Mike,
Yeah,
it was tough. It was not easy. I thought we're good though. I don't like the bike. But Mike, week 1 NFL away and through. We got a huge game tonight on Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime. The way I view this game is it's sort of a little bit of a clash between who wants to be that 1B of the NFC. It's not fair to put anybody other than Philadelphia at the 1 right now because of just what they put together last year into the offseason. But Green Bay and Washington sort of fighting in that 2, 3, 4 spot, at least to this point. What do you think's on the line for this game tonight in Green Bay on Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, these are two of the best teams in the NFC. I thought what we saw in particular from Green Bay was like the definition of a force multiplier. I thought they played with more competitiveness, tempo. They kind of out-Detroited Detroit, and I think that's when Parsons walks in the building, you're like, wow, we have a chance to win it all. And then as it relates to, Washington, they have one of the best young players in the sport in Jaden Daniels. I think it's going to be a great game tonight. I don't think it's a stretch to say this could be the NFC Championship game.
Wow, so an NFC Championship game. Now, the one thing I'm nervous about Washington because Mike and I have been a little down on them. My perception was that team was so, and there's a skill attached to luck. Obviously, you're good in close games, but they were lucky. Let's call it like we see it. They had health. Obviously, everything worked out in the right way. General manager, head coach, quarterback, things that basically are a coin flip in this league, all worked out at the same time. Do you think there's something to be said about Washington maybe not having similar luck? They're an older roster, at least since a lot of the guys they rely upon, the Bobby Wagners, the Deebo Samuels of the world. Do you think that there's maybe a step of regression that could be expected in terms of how Washington keeps moving forward?
Yeah, no, that's fair, but we'll see how it plays out. They do have some older guys, but I also think they have some guys that be it Josh Connolly, their first-round pick, Laramie Tunsil, still in the prime of his career. So, look, I think it's a fair point, but it's a long season, and maybe it's a guy like, their 7th-round running back, Bill Koski-Merritt, that they hit on. So it's a possibility, but too soon to tell.
Mike, listen, I listened to you during Theo's show. You're big on Jordan Love. I mean, a $188, 2 touchdowns. He's doing what he's got to do to win the games. Is that the recipe for success with LaFleur in that offense? Is, let the defense be elite and then offensively hand the ball off and just make the right reads and don't turn the ball over?
Yeah, Mike, I think it's a little bit of both. I think this team could be in the Super Bowl. I think he could be the MVP. I still think there's 2 or 3 throws a game. You're like, whoa, what are we doing here? But he has immense talent. I think Matthew Golden's going to be great. And I do love Love.
How about that? Mike Tannenbaum with us now on Russo and Rizzo. Mike T, I want to switch gears a little bit. Talk about the San Francisco 49ers a little bit. Coming from somebody with your expertise, somebody who's seen the inside of front offices, how you guys view things year in and year out. San Francisco 49ers have been nothing short of unlucky ever since that Super Bowl, run that they made 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Ever since then, it's been a revolving door of injury reports, guys not being able to stay healthy. We already saw what's happened with George Kittle, not having Brock Purdy early, even after the big contract. I mean, from somebody in a front office, you got to feel for somebody like General Manager Lynch. But, I mean, can you quantify something like this? Do you just chalk it up to luck, being somebody that's been involved with teams when you have this type of injury bug that you haven't been able to shake?
Yeah, look, it does. It's a lot of soul searching. It's a really good question. I mean, I remember being with the Dolphins thinking like, gosh, we have a really good team. And then Ryan Tannehill goes down with a season-ending preseason injury on a non-contact, drill. So you just never know. But look, I think the fun part about the NFL guys is like, maybe we're talking about the resurrection of Mac Jones this year. Like, Mac Jones was somebody that came out as a first-rounder. I know a lot of other people liked. Didn't work out in New England, didn't work out in Jacksonville. And does this become Baker Mayfield? Like, who knows? But that's what makes our sport, in my opinion, so fascinating. Like, is Mac Jones the new development this year? We're going to find out.
Now, Mike, little bias attached to this, but with what you said there, I think it would be Justin Fields with the Jets, no?
Yep. Look, he played really well. Isn't it weird? Like, they lost, but we feel good about them.
Right.
I thought he made some really big-time throws, in particular Garrett Wilson, accurate, anticipatory. I really liked him, and look, we'll see how it plays out, but I thought the Jets have a lot of reasons to be encouraged.
Mike, that was the first time I really saw him throw it and run it well. Like in years past with Chicago, it was the magic with his legs. He never really walked away from a game and said, wow, he was throwing tight spirals in the tight windows all game long. Mike, I think that was the most complete game he ever put together as a pro. It's a shame that they couldn't get a win from it.
Okay.
Now, Mike, one thing I wanted to get your thoughts on here to switch gears. We talked about the Green Bay Packers. We talked about how you think you're one of the highest teams in the NFC. Let's flip the gears to who they played on Sunday. The Detroit Lions were nothing short of disappointing, and I want to get your perception on this because when you lose a couple coordinators, and the Detroit Lions lost more than a couple. I mean, losing Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, a couple guys throughout the coaching staff. What do you sort of view as, is there going to be a new acclimation process? Is this going to be a year-long thing? Do you give them more time because of the turnover that they've had? How do you view Detroit at this period of time?
I think they're fine. I really do. They're too good, too talented on both sides of the ball. When we spoke a couple of weeks ago, guys, we talked about how, the return of Aiden Hutchinson may get them to the Super Bowl. They lost to a good team in a tough division game, and I think they're going to handle Chicago fairly easily. If I had a concern, it would be, their interior offensive line just didn't look the same. So that to me would be a concern. But beyond that, I think Detroit's really good.
Well, Mike, we appreciate it. Enjoy the football over the weekend. We're looking forward to talking again next week, all right?
Thank you.
You got it. Mike Tannenbaum, the ESPN NFL insider, the former general manager of the New York Jets, presented by Eisner and Amper. So appreciate him, as always, giving us the time of day, giving us a little bit of insight into what we're going to see tonight and this weekend. We got to do a little 5 and 5 on the flip side. Luke Christian, Catter, producer, into the conversation. That's all coming up right here on Russo Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3. The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Football season is here, and the ultimate game day headquarters is Twin Peaks. Whether it's college Saturdays or NFL Sundays, catch every kickoff, every touchdown, every Hail Mary right here at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. From scratch-made favorites to ice-cold 29-degree draft beers, Twin Peaks is delivering all the winning plays. Looking for a stronger lineup? No one does game day like Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks, come for the game, stay for the experience.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia. Are you tired of the hassle of buying a car? At Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach, we're changing the game. No pushy salespeople here, just friendly product specialists on salary here to help you find the perfect ride. With over 500 vehicles in stock and a goal to sell 250 by month's end, that means incredible deals are waiting for you. Forget the back and forth negotiations. Once you pick your dream Kia, you'll work with one manager the entire time, making decisions on the spot for a smooth, stress-free experience. We'll even handle the paperwork, your tags, insurance, and every detail. Need help learning all the features? We'll schedule a post-delivery session when it's convenient for you. And if you can't make it in, we'll bring a new Kia right to your home or office for a test drive. Plus, for a limited time, you'll see the factory invoice right on the windshield of every car in the showroom. Visit Greenway Kia today or shop online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
What if every use of your debit card turns spare change into something meaningful, like growing your savings and supporting local community causes? With Flagler Credit Union's Impact Checking with Everyday Change, your spare change can have big impact. Each transaction can be rounded up to grow your savings and support nonprofits that provide meals, shelter, and essential services locally. Make an impact in your life and in your community. Open your Impact Checking account today. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and if you love football, you're in the right place. ESPN 1063 has it all. Tonight, NFL Week 2 is here. The Commanders storm into Lambeau to battle the Packers under the lights. Coverage starts at 7:30 here on ESPN 1063.
Hey, Shot, I know you be hearing this and that from here and there, but please trust and believe, little mama. I see you gon' ride for me, so I'ma die for you. Is you with me? I got your back. But let's get it.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
5 o'clock hour of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage. We got Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, and Christian Cat. We're at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. If you missed any of the show today, missed any of the program, go to Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search up Russo and Rizzo. You can listen to full-form shows there. Also, catch us live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Christian Cat is our producer behind the glass today. You can hear him on the call with Kaiser football this weekend with the ESPN West Palm High School game day. Yeah. All that on the road. You got to be stopping at a racetrack to fuel yourself before these big games.
Especially when you want to play golf in the Treasure Coast, because I think I might have found my favorite racetrack yet. It's right on the exit where Stewart is. Or one of the many Stewart exits. But it's the one where you got to wait 15 miles to eventually arrive in Stewart. And they've got a swirl world that's got 16 flavors of froyo, 41 plus toppings. You heard me correctly. 16 flavors, 41 plus toppings at a racetrack, a gas station. Yeah, they do it right at a racetrack. Where they're more than just a one-stop shop for a football tailgate, they are our team's biggest fans. With their whatever gets you going style of convenience, Racetrack is the go-to for all your game day essentials, from ice cold drinks, salty snacks, sweet treats, and freshly made in-house pizza. By the way, trust me, you got to try the ultimate beef nacho tornado. Right now, they're buy one, get one for $1. Chef's kiss. Delicious. At Racetrack, you're not just a customer, you're part of the team. 7.5 million customers strong every week. And, of course, they are dedicated to giving back to the communities that we serve and helping our future stars shine. Join them this fall. Cheer on your favorite high school football team. At Racetrack, they are proud to fuel dreams by supporting our local high school teams. Together, we're making a difference.
How you doing today? Not bad?
You're being presumptive there. What if I'm not doing not bad? What if I'm doing bad?
Are you doing bad?
No, I'm doing good.
Okay.
He was gloomy yesterday, and I agree. I'm almost done with the rain, boys. And then not to be much, do too much on this again. I know we did it yesterday, but wow, it is raining like crazy. I can't remember the last time it didn't rain in this town.
I did play golf this morning. It was unimpeded by the rain. It was the first one off with my guy, Jim.
How about this? Tell me about him.
All right, Jim used to work. He's retired now. 74 years old. He played golf. He's been playing golf for about a year and a half. He smoked cigars on the course. He was drinking. It was 7:30 a.m. and he cracked open a cold one.
That's retirement, baby.
Fair play.
That's retirement if I've ever seen it.
Fair play.
Let's see what else.
What do you do for a living? Do you know?
He's retired, and what was it? It was a company, a very famous company that I knew I've heard of, but they were a manufacturing company.
Okay.
They were Procter & Gamble.
Okay.
Is that a thing? Have you heard of that?
Not familiar.
I feel stupid right now.
No
Procter
idea.
& Gamble's probably very famous. Yeah. And when I first denied, like, no, I don't want to drink, I'm good. He goes, how about some Fireball to help that driver swing? And I was like, no, I'm good. Trust me. And he goes, maybe some rum cream. I'm like, no, really. I promise you, I'm all right.
Guy was
He
a
goes,
walking bar.
I have
and he
to
goes,
work.
how about something herbal? I'm like, dude, seriously, I'm okay.
Are you making money on this?
Yeah.
That's great.
He was a walking pharmacy.
Best round of golf I've played in some time. Not because I played good golf, but because there was no one behind us, and the threesome that was in front of us was flying by. So you felt like you were almost the only guys on the course, and Jim was the delight. Shot like 100, hit a couple of good shots, hold out on turning what was going to be a 10 into a 9 on a par 5, really bad hole. But I chipped in from like 40 feet away because of how bad of a blow-up hole it was, so I'm doing good. More than not bad, I'm doing good.
There you go. That's all you could ask for. Let's bounce around a little bit. Let's do a little 5 and 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking Big Ten.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Earn up to $700 per year with boost checking from Flagler Credit Union. Number 1.
Stop the presses. We've got the new richest person in the world.
Musk lost it?
Musk is no longer top dog, according to Bloomberg Business. It's going to Michigan super booster Larry Ellison.
Wow.
And apparently Ellison played an integral role in the Michigan Wolverines' pursuit of Rice Underwood, of course, their 5-star quarterback, who lost his first collegiate
his first big game.
Call it for what it is, Christian. His first game. New Mexico doesn't count.
New Mexico doesn't count, but Ohio State pounding 70 points on God knows who. It counts as much as anything.
Listen, when we played godforsaken State, we put up 70. Those guys put up 28. Just saying.
Is this the new age of college football where whoever a billionaire is a fan of will automatically pump in 5-star recruits to their favorite football team?
It's going to help, but, coaches win games. You got to have to make sure you have the best coaches in the sport in the right schools. I mean, St. John's has a billionaire, the guy who owns Vitamin Water, and St. John's for basketball, and that's just for, Big East basketball, and they haven't done anything yet. So this is the new age, though. Who has that top dog donator? Wisconsin's not the beneficiary of this. I actually know, Wisconsin is a big program. They have no big donators, which is why they cannot compete because they don't put the money into it. Basically, every other school has at least one multi-million dollar millionaire that is willing to throw some money. And Michigan's got literally a guy who could toss them $15 million a year and not blink. It's got to be an amazing luxury.
I'm going to split this up into the Big Ten and the SEC because these are the only players, and really the only big players. How about that in the NIL? Because the guy at Texas Tech has proven me wrong. Big Ten has. What's his name? What's this guy's name?
Larry Ellison.
They got, conglomerate software money. The SEC has the millionaire car dealership guy. So I think there's levels to this. The Big Ten has the most money, but the SEC guys, the car dealers, they're very competitive and they want to win. And they'll offer the $15 million because they want to be like the Big Ten and the big spenders where this guy could donate $15 million and not even blink. Christian, you asked me.
Let's keep one thing in mind. It's not like they're trying to be like the Big Ten. It's just the money is evening it out a little
But what I'm saying is the older money and there's a lot more money in the Big Ten with the donors comparatively to the SEC, but the SEC's net spend is still crazy. Don't get it twisted. To answer your question, yes, money does put you into the conversation and get you a great team. Look at Texas Tech this year. They haven't necessarily played anybody yet, but Texas Tech was an afterthought in college football in the preseason polls last year and in the regular season. They're a ranked team this year. They got a lot of talent, and it's because they donated money and got players in the portal. Now, Colin has a point. I overreact about recruiting, but they also have recruits coming in this next season retained via the NIL because they're going to keep paying them to stick around. And I think Oregon is the perfect example. Who's the Nike billionaire?
Phil Knight.
Phil Knight gets Dan Lanning in town, and that team is a juggernaut. So to answer your question, yes, these donors play a huge role, and I don't think it's changing anytime soon.
So we know BYU is getting an uptick in money for both basketball, too, right?
Well, they got the number one recruit in the country this year.
AJ Dibanta.
I don't think he had a passion to be a BYU Cougar until the money was right.
No.
$5 million.
SMU, same thing with the oil money. I don't know where the oil money racks up between car dealership and tech billionaire.
SMU also took Michigan's, I believe, athletic director because it's a private school. They don't have to publicize how much money he's making. So that's why it gets tricky.
By the way, I got to, and I like him, so I have a problem with doing it. Colin Cowherd did a whole show on the NIL and who's spending what and whatever, and he broke it down pretty well that there's just so much more donors with a lot more money comparatively in the Big Ten to the SEC. But like Colin said, Nate, they're still spending a ton of money. Those car dealerships, trust me, they're lining up to give their $1 million every single year to their school.
Number 2.
Let's go to the NFL. The Eagles are 1-0. What's been the reputation for the Eagles when you look at the down and distance and it's 3rd or 4th down and short? Well, it's to run the tush push, of course. Nick Sirianni broke it to the team behind closed doors that maybe something's going to change.
Right, we're going to change our short yardage play this year. All right, we're going to change that so we don't need you as much on the quarterback sneak. I'm kidding. All right, we're going to run that. Right, we're going to run the quarterback sneak.
My question for you guys is, of course, Nick Sirianni joking to Jalen Hurts that they're going to take the tush push out, but no, they're going to run the QB sneak. Does Jalen Hurts' ability to be so effective with the quarterback sneak make you respect him more or respect him less as a quarterback?
Does it make you respect him less?
I don't take him as seriously. I look at his numbers with a ton of grains of salt. When I see the rushing touchdown statistics between he and Lamar Jackson, I don't respect his 12 to Lamar Jackson's 6 in any sense of the word.
I agree with that in the sense of comparing him to Lamar, but Jalen Hurts is elite with his legs. There's no doubt about that. And Jalen Hurts is willing to put his body in the line. A lot of quarterbacks don't like doing the QB sneak. You saw Patrick Mahomes hurt his knee in the quarterback sneak, and they kind of just went away with it. So there are quarterbacks that don't like doing it. I mean, Josh Allen is a freight train, and he wasn't able to do it in the AFC title game.
Couldn't do it, by the way, on the goal line on Sunday Night Football, too. I don't know if you remember watching that.
He's a freight train. So you got to give the Eagles credit, number one, their offensive line, but number two, Jalen Hurts has mastered it. And there clearly is an art to it because not every big quarterback can get it done. So do I view it differently because of the inflated rushing statistics? Yeah, there's obviously context attached to it. But on the other side, you do what you do to win the game. It doesn't matter if it's a 3-yard out to score a touchdown, or it doesn't matter if it's a 65-yard bomb to score a touchdown. All that matters is you score a touchdown.
I'm not saying all the great quarterbacks in the league aren't team guys. Like Mahomes is a team guy. Allen, Jackson, they're all team guys. But Christian, I respect them more for this because I think it's that unstoppable play that nobody can seem to stop. Let's go back to, and Kyle loves old-time basketball. So do I. Kareem, like the skyhook. It was the unstoppable thing that Kareem had. This is the unstoppable thing that Hurts has. There are more people at work on this. Obviously, the offensive line has to know their assignment on the tush push and to know exactly what to do. But I respect him more because this is his unstoppable quirk, let's call it, that nobody seems to be able to stop. And I go back to Hurts being the ultimate team guy. He didn't put up crazy numbers against Dallas. He ran with his legs and took what the defense gave him, and they won the game. That's what's great about Jalen Hurts. He's the ultimate team guy, and he has the unstoppable quirk in the tush push that no one could stop, to the point where they tried to ban it at the Breakers this past offseason.
Number 4.
Actually, I think it's number
3.
Big game this weekend for Mike Rizzo's Cleveland Brownies. Ravens versus Browns. Sunday, where the Ravens are 10.5-point favorites against those Cleveland Browns? Well, Browns safety Grant Delpit was asked, how hard is it to tackle Derrick Henry, the running back that's going to be playing against us this weekend? And what did Browns safety Grant Delpit have to say? He said, it's not hard to tackle Derrick Henry.
Nice.
Do you think this is
Nice.
just an athlete who has been the best at what they do all the way up until they get to the NFL, not knowing when to turn that off and showing that bravado and that confidence? Or is he poking the bear and he actually believes this?
There's a rare amount of first ballot Hall of Fame running backs that have played in the last 15 years. He is definitely the best of the bunch. He's been in the league for 10 years, and he's basically dominated every second of it. And we're going to, what? We're going to taunt him, saying, just say, yeah, he's a tough guy to, looking for. That's when the media training needs to come in. Yeah, we're going to do our best. We're going to do our best to try to stop him. You got to just make sure you're in on your keys, group setting. You got to make sure. I could make that question. I could script up the answer for you. You're trying to give him all this bulletin board material. I don't know if they need it. I don't know if the Ravens are, going to put the Grant Delpit quote on the whiteboard. I don't know if that's going to, move them there. But they need to win the game. They started 0-2 last year. They don't want to do it again.
I think Derrick Henry hears that.
He does, Christian.
I don't think it matters for the rest of the Ravens, to be honest, but I think that matters to Derrick Henry, where if Derrick Henry has an opportunity to go out of bounds when running to the right or the left, or it's to run through Grant Delpit and take an unnecessary hit, I think he's going to weigh his risk that time.
Boys, this makes me want to text the Team Rizzo Survivor Pool group chat and change my pick to the Ravens. This is so stupid. I mean, Henry is already as angry as can be because he
coming
fumbled.
off an excellent game,
and
he
then
had he blew the game with 3 minutes to go.
Like, you don't need to give this man bulletin board material. Derrick Henry is a beast. He's unstoppable. I'm very worried now. By the way, Grant Delpit had one good year, got a contract from the Browns. Colin, I wanted them to take Antoine Winfield. The Browns took Grant Delpit before Winfield.
A college player.
I think Winfield's the better player in Tampa Bay.
Absolutely.
So, it's not that I dislike Grant Delpit, but you took a guy and you rather had the other guy and you wanted the other guy. You turned out to be right. I'm terrified. I'm terrified now. I thought there could be a slight chance that the Browns could possibly win this game, the Flacco revenge game. First time Flacco would have been playing at that giant purple crab cake in brown and orange. Yeah, not so much anymore. I think I'm going to change my Survivor pick to the Ravens.
Number four. Let's go to Major League Baseball. We're in that heated playoff race. But how about, speaking of, as you, Mike, said, old faces back to the place where their stardom was really risen with Joe Flacco going back to the Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium. It's happening in the baseball diamond tonight. Jacob deGrom, as a Texas Ranger, is returning to Citi Field for the first time, of course, pitching against the New York Mets. My question for you, Mike, and you, Colin, is Jacob deGrom a Hall of Famer?
He's going to be the most interesting case study the MLB has ever seen. He's had a good year this year. He needs just more volume. But there's no doubt that he had the strongest peak of pitching outside of what Skeens has done his first 2 years in the past 15 years. I don't know if he will be. I don't know if but he is going to be that case study that they keep turning back to because it's peak over longevity. Can he put together another 3-4 healthy seasons, get to 2,000 strikeouts, get another 30-some-odd wins on him, 40-some-odd wins? Can he get his WAR, which is wins above replacement, which is a big deal when you're a pitcher, is good. It's Hall of Fame good. So he's going to be that case study. If I had to make a bet, I think they're going to put him in by the end of his career.
Right now, no, because he
now.
hasn't played enough games. If he could consistently stay healthy, I agree with Colin, and get some of the accolades, then yes. But I don't think he's going to be consistently healthy, and I don't think he's going to does Jacob deGrom have Hall of Fame stuff? I think we could all agree and say yes. But you know how these stat geeks are. I hate the MLB Hall of Fame. And one of the reasons,
I love it. It's the most competitive.
One of the reasons I hate it is because of how stingy they are. There are a ton of guys who deserve to be in, and there are a ton of guys who are in that don't deserve to be in. So, and I think the writers gatekeep a bit. Who is good to the media? I think the whole steroid stuff is fugazi and baloney. Barry Bonds belongs in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame.
This doesn't need to turn to Barry Bonds, but It's about it. DeGrom should be in.
No, he doesn't have the stats.
Now, when DeGrom was with the Mets, and if the Mets had a average offense in a lot of the years that he was there, and a lot of those losses where he gives up 2 earned runs in 8 innings pitched,
and he gets a loss out of it.
If those are actually wins, it's all outside of his control. These are just the Mets offense putting up runs. Do you think that changes the conversation? Do you think that a actual win-loss record matters in terms of a pitcher's legacy, even though half of the equation is not up to them?
I don't think it's the biggest deal, so for that point, I agree. But, he's got 95 wins in his career. I'm looking at it right now. His WAR is 45.2. A good rule of thumb is 50. You got a good chance at the Hall of Fame. He's got 45.2 WAR. That's pretty freaking good.
Never understood how they calculate that, by the way.
His ERA is 2.5 on his career. Sub 3 is good for a Hall of Famer. And he's 2.5. But there's where you get hurts is your innings pitched. If you want to talk about what's more important, it's innings pitched, and then it's your strikeouts as well. Your strikeouts, he's got 1,800 strikeouts. 3,000 is a good tell for a first ballot Hall of Fame. That's what Kershaw just got. He's going to be a case study because he hasn't had enough in his career. He debuted when he was 26 years old. He's 37 years old now. Can he go till he's 40? I mean, he's going to need a couple, and he's been able to pitch 20 games this year. But his peak when, in the Mets in, 2018, 1.7 ERA. He's getting a little bit of this, and Skeens is getting the same treatment right now. He's going to be an interesting case study. My thinking is I think they're going to put him in if he puts together 3-4 more seasons. Right now, if he's done in 2 years or a year or two, I don't think they're going to put him in. He's fascinating, though, because the WAR is there. You need that. And that people care about that. That's why Trout is going to be a no-doubter. And obviously, Trout is great, but no-doubter. The WAR, the wins above replacement.
It's like DeGrom, I feel like, is in the same conversation as like a Tim Lincecum or a Johan Santana. Like guys who are just had Hall of Fame stuff, but didn't necessarily do it long enough in order to be, according to the Poindexters, in the Hall of Fame. So this is going to be interesting regardless. By the way, quickly, that game means a lot tonight. The Mets only have a 2-game lead over San Francisco and Cincinnati. And Texas
They've been playing so bad, too.
Correct. And Texas is a game and a half behind Seattle.
Yeah.
So, listen, I know it's football season. I know we're all excited for football, but, baseball's just heating up with the playoffs coming around the corner.
They got destroyed against the Phillies over the week, too. The Mets have been so bad. I'm going to win that under with flying
It's the bet of the year. Dare I got to give you some flowers,
They were 21 games over 500 in June.
I mean, what were your plus odds there, if you don't mind me asking?
I'd have to double check. I don't have that available.
That was a hell of a bet. And I remember we were live at Clover.
We were at Clover Park.
Thank you. We were at Clover Park, and you were telling Met fans that you were taking the under, and they couldn't believe it. They could not believe it.
Mets are always going to Met. Mets are always going to Met. It's true. That's exactly what they did. Mike, they got the 4th worst record in Major League Baseball since June 13th. The Mets are always going to Met.
They didn't Met last year in the
I know, but they met the first half of the year. That's true. Fine.
And you were behind them, damn it.
I like them when they're an underdog, not when they're the favorite. I don't like that. So, but DeGrom, fascinating case study. I'm glad that the Mets are honoring him in some capacity.
Number 5.
Cleaning up NFL Week 1. It's just been announced that the NFL will not discipline Lamar Jackson after, on Sunday Night Football, after DeAndre Hopkins scored a touchdown. The Ravens were celebrating the touchdown in the end zone. A Bills fan hit DeAndre Hopkins in the helmet, or tapped, or at least made contact with Hopkins' helmet, and Lamar Jackson two-hand shoved that Bills fan who was sitting in the crowd. That Bills fan has been barred from Bills games and NFL games as a whole, and the NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy said, quote, "The matter has been addressed by the club and there is no further action from the league." Is this the right move? Did Lamar Jackson need any disciplinary action for his two-hand shove?
None. Why hurt the games? All he did was defending a teammate. Fans don't have a right to touch the players. I'm not saying Lamar, being a behemoth of an athlete, has every right to beat his head in. But, if you want to shove the guy to get him off you, I mean, what, are you going to blame the guy? Anybody would do the same.
And Lamar said the right things after the game. He basically apologized and said, my man, don't shove me. You know, that was heat of the moment
He said,
thing.
like,
Don't shove me.
Just chill, bro.
Yeah,
That
like
was the quote.
I don't mind that. Lamar's such a great guy. Like,
I will
no,
counterpoint
you
say
can't suspend him.
fans do have a right to touch a player if it's the World Series and you're a Yankee fan. It's Mookie Betts who reaches into the
God,
crowd
here we go
trying to make a
again.
catch, and you are two diehard Yankee fans who are trying to better the chance of a Yankees World
No.
Series. That's the one
No.
time I will excuse it.
The one-time situation,
can't
like,
listen
you
to
were
that.
you
We're
were a
not
fan of
doing
those
this.
two clowns.
I love them.
They're a fan of those two
I
clowns.
love
You
those
love
guys.
Steve Bartman.
I
You
tried
love
to get
all
him on
those-
the
We can't
show.
do this again. We
Yeah.
did this already.
You two clowns. Christian loved them. No
They
wonder.
better be in the building in the playoffs this year.
We need them. They need all the help they can get in the outfield.
I'm pretty sure one of
Sneak 'em
our
in.
coworkers here bought their season tickets. Not obviously the whole thing, but they sold a game when he was up there in New York. I'm pretty sure he sat in those seats this baseball regular season.
I can't believe I'm asking this. I thought they got banned. They still have their tickets? I thought they were banned from everything.
They were
right?
banned.
I thought so.
I'm going to go do my research.
Do your
Yeah,
research
they
while
were
we go.
banned
Yeah,
for sure.
They were
Okay,
definitely banned.
they were the seats that they did own. Maybe they didn't own them anymore, and the person that now has those season tickets, maybe they sold them to our teammate for that
Fair
one
enough.
game.
Fair enough.
That was a 5-5% by Flagler Credit Union, of course. Go start your week with a victory. Go start your win getting a sweat in over at F45 downtown West Palm Beach, locations in Wellington as well. F45, you're looking to train for something like High Rocks, F45's got you covered. If you're just looking to get a little bit of a fitness environment going, loud music, 2 coaches on site, a bunch of people from fitness levels all throughout, you know, intermediate, beginner, expert, they have it all in one spot. 45-minute classes in and out. You turn your brain off, follow along with what the screen says in front of you. It's nothing too complicated, but it's also very functional. So you walk out of there, you feel loose, you feel strong, you got a sweat going, and more importantly, your heart rate is elevated. We'll do that over at F45. Find a studio near you. Check out their Instagram, F45 downtown West Palm Beach. Well, let's give our picks for the weekend and for Cover 5 that's coming up, and a lot more. Russo Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
The season is kicking off. Keep your home in the win column with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can score 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong on the field, not in your living room. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8-star rating, EDS is trusted as the MVP, and it has been since 2006. Visit EDSIsyes.com today. Kick off your game day comfort and don't sweat the small stuff.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3 with Colin Rizzo, Mike Rizzo, and Christian Cat. If you missed any of the program, you could listen back in full podcast format, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter /X at ESPN West Palm. So you go to the App Store, and you go to Cover 5, cover in the number 5, and you can download our app today and join our league at ESPN West Palm. It's free to join. Use code MVP 2025 to get into the league. How it works, it's simple. You choose 5 games a week, 5 NFL games on the actual docket, on the slate, against the spread. And however many points you win or lose that spread by is counted on your total for the week. So if you take a -3 and the favorite team wins by 10, all of a sudden you get 7 points added to your actual team, and you get it added up. And after every week, the winner of said week will get entered into an opportunity to get a $25 Duffy's gift card. That is right, $25 to Duffy's.
Yeah. You got to beat Russo and Rizzo, and theoretically speaking.
We're in the
that,
league, too. I mean,
Mike, the winner of said league. No. As long as you beat both shows, you are entered to win the Duffy's gift card.
That's it. Beat both myself and Mike Rizzo, or collectively as a team, and Christian Cat and Theo Dorsey collectively as theoretically speaking. Go join ESPN West Palm on the Cover 5 app. Mike, we got 5 picks. Let's start with tonight's game. What do we like?
We like Green Bay -3.5 at home versus the Commanders. Now, with how great that defense looked, the complementary football that I alluded to, running the ball, Jordan Love not turning the ball over in that week 1, Kyle, we're really confident that Green Bay could cover that 3.5 at home.
High on Green Bay. I like this pick. I think it's going to be an offense that is humming, clicking, running the football, and you got to hope that defense can get to Jaden Daniels. That's going to be the key of the game.
Our next game, we have the Jets +6.5 at home versus Buffalo. Now, Colin explained this to me, and I agree with him. It's either going one way or the other. It's either going to be a really close game, or Buffalo is just going to blow the doors off of them. We're banking on a really close game with the Jets here.
Aaron Glenn.
Justin Fields, please be good. Kyle, out of all of our games, this is probably the one I'm most nervous about. But Jets +6.5. Let's go, brother. I love it. Moving on next, Dallas -5.5 at home versus the Giants. From my understanding, quickly, boys, I know Colin and Christian, you guys are in survivor pools as well. Both you guys are going with the Cowboys, right?
I'm going with the Cowboys in mine.
You're going Cowboys?
Cardinals.
Me too. Gosh, brother. Fair play to us. Moving on to our next pick, our second to last. We have the Jags +3.5 on the road at Cincinnati. We're hoping that Cincinnati woes. We're hoping the woes, the offensive woes.
First 2 weeks of the year, anti-Cincinnati.
Correct.
Sign me up.
And let's hope Trevion Walker looks like Myles Garrett in that one.
Trayvon.
Let's hope Trayvon Walker looks like Myles Garrett.
Yeah, we need to get to the quarterback.
We do. We're going with the Jags. And then finally, our final pick, we have Atlanta +4.5 at Minnesota. Minnesota was lucky to get a win against the Bears. We're banking on Atlanta and hopefully them playing angry after they got beat on the final drive of the game by Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay at home.
This thought process was a little more anti-Minnesota than it was pro-Atlanta. Atlanta played well last week. We're pleased about that, but Atlanta also doesn't want to fall down to 0-2. Vikings, on the other hand, they would have lost that game on Monday Night Football to every team in the NFL outside of the Bears, the Browns, and probably Jacksonville.
Yep.
They handed them that game with that fourth quarter comeback. It was impressive, but a lot of teams in the NFL do not lose that game. That's how close we were to Minnesota sort of falling flat out in their face and everybody having a different take on them. Now, in Minnesota's built a surprise. They built a surprise last year. We're banking on the Atlanta Falcons to keep it somewhat close. Second straight week of McCarthy in primetime. Maybe a little bit of that juiced up first game coming down from the high, hoping a little bit of a hangover there. Maybe Atlanta can surprise some people. Those are our 5 picks for
once again, quickly, Green Bay -3.5, the Jets +6.5, Dallas -5.5, Jags +3.5, Atlanta +4.5.
We've got the Dallas and Atlanta as same picks.
Okay.
The other 3 picks, we got Denver, Miami, and Chicago.
Okay.
Miami.
Good stuff, dude.
Miami.
So you're going back with the Dolphins? You're going back to the well?
I want to marry the Dolphins right now. This bet, Dolphins -1.5.
To the
I want to have 3 kids with that bet.
You're locking that in one.
What about the Bears? You're anti-Lions now, especially in Detroit?
I don't know. That was Theo's pick.
All right, that's not your
But
pick.
you love it. I cannot. Dude, the Dolphins. Did you take them last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're going back to that well?
Yeah.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
We saw their first game already.
You're going back to that well?
Christian, Cat, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. Stick around after this. You got Pink Smoke coming right to you. A little Inter Miami action, so stay tuned for that with Damian Perez and Mike Rizzo. This has been Colin Russo saying so long. We'll be back at it tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. right here on ESPN 106.3.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and